So I will leave you to learn from the master of implementation and adoption. He's going to tell you how Engager saved his firm. So one round of applause for Aaron Patrick, please.
Thank you very much. All right, everyone. So I am here to talk to you about how Engager saved my practice. Now, I've got a few things I need to start this session off with. First of all, I'm never going to get this opportunity again, so it's going to sound a bit corny, but are we all excited for Engager Labs 2025? Okay, now, I'm going to do this the corny way, right? And there's a reason for it. I'm going to tell you now, are we excited for Engager 2025? Excellent, excellent. That was a bit better, But the reason I need that is because I need a bit of help from you guys. When I first did this talk, it came in around about 45 minutes, which I'm sure all of you can imagine that if I was stood here for 45 minutes, A, I'll get told off, because over time, and B, you lot haven't got time for 45 minutes of me just talking at you. So, how about I do it this way? We're going to use today as an opportunity to go through the high-level stuff and really give you an opportunity to see how it is, a bit of a teaser for you. And if I film that 45 minutes, will you guys watch it if I put it on YouTube? Sorry, let's try this one again. Right, we were getting there. We were warming up, really. If I put it on YouTube, will you guys listen to it? Yeah. Excellent, excellent. All right, cool. Well, I've got to find my thing here. Right, and also, I feel like I was the only one that didn't listen to this whole idea about not doing Engager content. I thought we were all doing Engager content, so yeah, glad one of us is there. Right, so this is all going to be about how our journey to Engager app, from frustration to success, as producer Lizzie has put there. Now, the idea is that when we first started our practice, we used and built our own Engager practice management tool. I'm sure we've all been there, right? We all got this Excel spreadsheet, made it the best Excel spreadsheet you've ever seen in your life, right? You've added bits to it, you've put macros in there, you do the if statement. It is a thing of beauty. It doesn't get very far, does it, right? We all learned very early on that we can't grow with it. So, stupidly for us, we then went, well, let's get a CRM tool, and then let's try and make that to be a practice management tool for accountants. Funnily enough, that didn't work either. See how I'm going here? I'm making very big mistakes as I go along early. But then I found an accountancy manager solution, gave away the name there, and I went with them and I put them in and think, and actually, true fact, it wasn't me that found it, it was my team that came to me and said, there's this amazing piece of software, you can tick what the services are, you can put the services in, and get this, it has HMRC integration as well, so you can do your 64/8s automatic as well. Sold it to us, right? Got on board, got everything in there. And definitely, if you've got a dedicated practice management solution built for accountants, you're going to be in a better position than trying to build your old one. By the way, our old one was called SID, Client Information. I'm still very fond of SID, but this product was far better. Then we had a few issues, some problems and everything else. I'm not here to talk about those problems, but we had to make the move over, and we were forced, our hand were, and as Johan said in the intro, we actually went through and we were quick to get ourselves through there. We moved 673 clients in 2 days. And we were forced to do that, forced to put ourselves in there. And actually, if I was to redo that now, I'd probably get that number down because Engager's done an amazing job of being able to improve their import tool for us all. So we're all going to benefit from this. But now, when I did that, that was on their old version of the import tool. Now, it's even better than it was before. So this is my story. I'm talking about why Engager saved my practice. Because it isn't just the fact that my clients are loving it, they're getting a better experience, they're enjoying the process, they're figuring out exactly what's working for them, and they're getting a better experience from us. Everyone's a winner at this point. But the key thing is how we're using Client Engager to be able to help us improve our services. And that's what I want you all to take away from this. My favorite part about Engager, by far, is that unlike other solutions out there where you're forced down this one route, right? You go down this one route, and as long as you're on that route, you're having the best time of your life. You can onboard clients, you can put things in, you take payments, or whatever it is that you're using your practice management solution for. But the second you want to veer off that route, that's when the problems arise with the other solutions. With Engager, though, the reason that I'm so obsessed with it and such a champion for it is because it's a bit like a Swiss Army knife. It gives us the ability to build whatever experience we want to build and lets us be able to kind of put our own stamp on it. We're all amazing accountants and bookkeepers in this room. We're all really good at what we do. We're all individual, right? Not one of us are going to do exactly the same as the other and be exactly the same. And that's why I like Engager, because it gives me the chance to put my stamp on it. I get to say that I want it to do this when it does that and bring it from there. And it doesn't restrict me. It doesn't tell me that because I'm outside their lane, I'm not allowed to do it. And it's only going to get better. We've seen all these updates. Johan said that he's got some big announcements to make at whatever time. He keeps changing the time, right? I'm not sure how he keeps changing his time, but he keeps changing his time. But whatever time he's going to be on here and come from there, I'm up for it, because I trust that whatever changes they're going to bring in are designed to help our practice. All right, so some summary of topics we're going to go through today, a bit of an agenda of what it is, and yeah, flying through the time here, so we'll make sure we go over them. But I want to talk about efficiency. I want to talk about client engagement. I want to talk about customization. And what really impressed me about Engager is how it supports my team. How me, struggling to kind of figure out how to grow the practice and everything else, has been able to use Engager to instill my beliefs, my passion, my everything else, so the whole team can do the same. All right, let's talk about efficiency then, improvement, and how it's worked. One of my top tips to anybody out there who's looking to implement Engager from start to finish is to think about that onboarding experience. That's the most important bit, right? If you can onboard your client and wow them at the start, they're going to be clients for a long, long time. If you frustrate them when trying to get them on board, you're going to struggle to maintain them, right? You're going to struggle to keep that relationship. You're going to struggle to be able to keep them for a long time. But with QuickBooks, whoops. Sorry about that. That's going to happen from time to time. But with Engager, then we're going to have a much better opportunity to be able to bespoke that. And my biggest tip that I can say is forget about client Engager to begin with. Forget about your AML solution. Forget about whatever is stopping you from building your ultimate onboarding solution. Scrap it for now. Take yourself away, and if you can, get other members of the team involved, maybe ones who don't know the restrictions, maybe people who don't understand what's stopping you from getting to A to B, and build your perfect onboarding. Because that's what we did. We built it with no restrictions whatsoever. We built it as if we were the client and we were being wowed. And we went through the whole process. It's much more complicated than it is on screen. This is a sample of it, right? But we built it. And then we looked at what solutions we have now, what tools we have now, and how close can we get to that end goal. And then that started making us thinking, well, if we can maybe use our AML solution here to talk to this, and we can move, and we started to basically reverse engineer what our current onboarding is. But we're never going to scrap what our goal is. And every time that Engager brings out a new update, or our AML solutions brings out a new update, we're going to think about how's that going to impact us. Is it our payment provider holding us back? Should we be looking at admin? As long as you've got the North Star, which is what our onboarding solution would be if we had no restrictions, we keep going back to it, right? And we keep coming back to it on a regular basis. And that's how you innovate, and that's how you start to get to that point where you're actually going to have that practice, that you're going to have that onboarding solution that you're going to be really proud of. Utilize the branding and customization options. Once you've won that client, you've got that wonderful onboarding, make sure you go in and start putting your practice logo on there. Think about what that signature looks like. Think about what your values are. Think about how they're going to be, because this is how you're going to go through and continue to impress that client. Because when you tell them maybe a bit of bad news, or you tell them about wanting to do this or do that, or you tell them to book in, or maybe they forgot to pay you or something, as long as you've got a nice brand there, then they're going to know it's from a trusted person. They're going to know it's you guys, you're the trusted solution that they've gone for. And one of the recent updates that I think's really helped us set ourselves apart from the competition, give us a chance to win bigger work and more impressive clients, is this document builder. If you've not played around with it, please do. Because the document builder, for me, is the opportunity for you to really put that stamp on, figure out what it is that you are trying to build, what's your values, what's it going to look like, how you want your clients to see the information coming in. And as our marketing person, Lizzie, will say, it gives us the tools to do that. We can build it. We can put things in there. We can change things around. And again, if I look at the opposition or the competition that's in the space, they don't give you tools to do that. This gives you tools to build that. So if you haven't already, play around with it. It was released in this last year, something to really look at. And again, we'll go into more detail in that video. Because I'm cautious of time, and here we'll skip straight to the next bit, client engagement. In client engagement, the first thing to make sure is that client portal's absolutely spot on, right? We want to encourage our clients to go there. So first of all, make it easy for them. Get it on your front page, get it on your website, get it so there's a link there to go. When you're talking to clients and sending information out, push them to the client portal. Make sure that they know that it's there. Keep encouraging them to use it. Because the best feature is, yes, you can put these amazing little brands to it, and you can get your brand identity all nice and there. But by far the best part of it is it gives access to forms. And if you're not using forms at the moment in your practice, please, please, please use this opportunity to go back from here, put a little action point, and make sure you at least look into what forms can do. Because I know I'm on the community, I've seen the pages, I've seen the Facebook questions, I've seen people interacting with it. And you've got these amazing maybe Google Forms or Jot Forms or whatever it is that you're using. They may be amazing, but look and see if you can try and bring them over to the forms within Engager. Because the ability for you then to be able to connect that database, bring it in, have the opportunity to ask questions and put that information through so it flows directly into your practice will save you so much time. Onboarding a client for us used to be a nightmare, used to be a problem, used to be a resource hog. We used to have to really struggle to get people to get engaged and get people into onboarding our clients. It used to be one of those jobs you'd push backwards almost because you're like, oh, I'm not going to go through client onboarding again. Nowadays, client onboarding is as simple as making sure the form's sent out, making sure the client gets that's completed, and when they've completed that form, we're just updating our database as we go along. It's made it so much easier. Checklists. Checklists for me are the opportunity for you to go in and instill for you making sure things are done properly, making sure stuff is done. As you start building a team, even if it's just yourself doing it, right? You know yourself that there's certain standards that you want to go out. You've committed to a client. You've promised a client this. You've promised a client that. Checklist is your chance to bring that into play, making sure that you don't miss out on stuff. Some of our checklists are huge. Some of our checklists are really simple, but we have checklists there to make sure our quality is going to be upheld, to make sure our client is getting what they paid for, right? And ultimately, that's what we want to do, and the checklist is definitely an opportunity to do that. Right, let's go to the customization option, because again, if you think back to the beginning of this, one of the things I love about Engager more than anything else is the ability for me to, I'm almost out of time, for the ability for me to go in and customize to my heart's content. When I think about the customization options, it's about wowing clients. So when you put in services in there, don't just put one line for this and one line for that. Think of how you can expand on that. I know some bookkeepers in the room where they have 10 different lines for providing a bookkeeping solution. It sounds mad, but that's how they make sure that they're hitting their quality. That's how they make sure they get the fee correct. That's how they make sure that they're delivering the service for the client. Make sure you utilize the catch-up fees. Without a doubt, completely change the way that we're able to keep that cash going through, cash flow into our practice. We've won so much more work because of catch-up fees. And it's such a simple scenario, right? Your clients come in, they've got so much time before their next return's due. You could just start billing now, or you could catch up in a way that they actually understand. How many times you had that conversation with them where they're really struggling to understand why you've got to pay up front or what this is going to be? With catch-up fees, we get the ability to win that work on a fair rate. We're making it so it's easy for them to be able to go through, loving the catch-up fee option. Custom fields. Again, you're customizing, right? We have custom fields for literally loads of different options. One of my favorite ones is those tax payment dates. So we put in what they have to pay in January, what they have to pay in July, and what their maybe corporation tax if they're a limited company. And that makes everything automated, right? I can send out emails to remind them to make the payments. I can send emails to make them, if they email to me, or how do I make a payment? Well, I can send them that email reply back with all the details on there, and everything comes through. And there's something about that last sense check as well, about you going into client engagement, doing all the work for them, and you put that final figure in just there. Support your team. Last bit so that I don't get told off for going overrun. Practice login. Make sure that you're utilising that core values in there. When your team are going in there and they're actually seeing Client Engager for the first time and they're going in, you want them to instill your core values, right? This is how you're going to make sure that what your value is going to be, they're going to have the opportunity to see it. Practice login. Let's make sure that they've got that core values that are there. I spoke about that. My biggest tip I can say about anything about Client Engager, especially if you've got a big team, is think about putting a super user in. And for us, a super user is someone that sees every single notification that's there, so that when we're having our daily meetings and we're having our work in progress meetings and we're trying to figure out where we are in a practice and how things are going, making sure everything is, one of the team will log in as a super user, bring it up on screen, and that's the notifications that are going to run our business. So we don't miss anything. One of the small things that Client Engager doesn't quite work in our practice is that we're scared we're going to miss a notification, scared we're going to miss someone signed a set of accounts, scared we're going to miss that. So having a super user gives you an opportunity to log in, gives you an opportunity to see everything that's happened. Bring that super user into those meetings. Bring that as an opportunity to see that holistic view of everything that's happened. And what makes it even better now is Client Engager listen to us, and we now get an opportunity to have this really nice view of all our notifications. So every single day, when we're at work and we're having our daily meeting, we bring the screen up as a super user, we see everything that's happened, and we just make sure someone's taken accountability for every action that's on there. We go through each of those lists, see exactly what's happened, and that just gives us that opportunity to take a sigh of air and just go, look, we're on top of this. No one's been left behind. None of our clients have signed something that's not been submitted or something like that. It just gives us that opportunity to go through from there. Another one as well, AI meeting notes. I haven't, in the whole of 2024, every single client conversation I've ever had has been summarized, been stuck in that meeting notes area, so everyone on my team can see exactly what conversations we had, what promises we made, what opportunities we gave them, what chances we've had to wow that client. They're all going to be there, and I highly recommend bringing that in as well. And there we have it. Hopefully that was useful for you. Hopefully you can see that there is so much to do with Client Engager. There's so much more I want to talk about, but obviously we're restricted by time. But if you want to keep up to date, then have a look at the Ask the Accountant network. I'm sure you guys are fully aware of that. Me and Johan goes live each and every Monday morning at 8:30 a.m. And we've also got a stand over there to get yourself your top trumps. Find me on YouTube, all that sort of stuff. Going from there. My name's been Aaron Patrick. I said before that I had my Glastonbury moment. I said before that I had my Coachella moment. According to producer Lizzie, this is my Broadway moment. I'm not sure what that means, but thank you very much for being part of my Broadway moment, and enjoy the rest of the labs. Thank you.
Thank you very much.